Welcome everyone to Quantum Leap. I'm your host, Toyin Umesiri. Today in the studio here in Aurora, I have incredible special guests for you from the Women's Business Development Center from both Chicago and Aurora. Thank you, ladies, for joining me.
Thank you
I'm
for
so,
having
Thank
us.
you.
I'm so
Yes.
excited.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share with you today their incredible bio, and you're going to agree with me that we have the perfect team here to really enlighten you about entrepreneurship and growing and expanding your business. So to my left here is Miss Maura Mitchell. She's the managing director of entrepreneurial programs and services division 2, and I'm just going to read a little bit about you. I know you have incredible backgrounds. I feel deeply honored to read this.
Oh, thank you.
Ms. Mora is an experienced non-profit executive and business advisor who is dedicated to supporting entrepreneurs. She is Managing Director of Entrepreneurial Programs and Services Division 2 at the Women's Business Development Center in Chicago. In her role, Ms. Mora collaborates with entrepreneurs to help them validate product market fit, ensure their product is customer centric, and creates plans for profitable business growth. Our extensive background includes assisting over 2,500 businesses and nonprofits with strategy, legal issues, and financial challenges, providing practical insights into today's business environment dynamics. Ms. Mora's academic qualification includes BA in mathematics from St. Mary's College. I have a BSc too, mathematics.
Mathematics. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Good.
And she has an MBA from the University of Chicago Booth School of Business and JD from DePaul University College of Law. She's also on the board of director of KSM, a manufacturing business. This definitely equips her with the knowledge and skills necessary for her responsibility. Thank you again for being here.
Sure. My pleasure. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you. And to my immediate right is Miss Minerva Kalatuyot. She's Director Entrepreneurial Programs and Services Division 1. I bet Aurora is Division 1,
Yes.
the region. Okay. Ms. Minerva is Director, like I shared, of Entrepreneurial Business Programs and Services at the Women's Business Development Center in Aurora office. She provides one-on-one and group advising in English and Spanish to women entrepreneurs that want to start or grow their businesses. She also provides training and educational programs for entrepreneurs and small business owners. Ms. Minerva has extensive experience developing international strategies that enable companies to expand and grow their markets, as well as in the food and beverage industry. She also has entrepreneurial experience. Ms. Minerva holds a Bachelor of Science in Food Engineering from the Universidad Nacional Autónoma de Mexico.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I hope I tried.
Yeah.
And an MBA from the Institute Technology. You probably say the English version for us. Please, Monterrey, Mexico.
You can say the Instituto Tecnológico de México.
Mexico. I've been to Mexico
Yeah.
before. She also holds an executive master's in international business from St. Louis University in St. Louis, Missouri. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. And to my extreme right, thank you for being here again.
Sure.
Miss Christine Garrick. She's the Associate Director, Entrepreneurial Programs and Services, Division 1 in Aurora here with us. And she provides one-on-one and group advising. She provides one-on-one and group advising to women entrepreneurs of emerging and established businesses. She also provides training and educational programs for entrepreneurs and small business owners. Ms. Kristen has over 20 years of experience as an international business leader, focused on marketing strategy, sales and profit growth, brand management, and product development. Ms. Kristen has extensive experience driving sales and marketing initiatives with mass market retailers. She also has entrepreneurial experience with smaller family-owned businesses. Ms. Kristen holds a BA in history from Albion College in Albion, Michigan.
Yes.
Listen, I went to school in Michigan,
Ah,
Central
excellent.
Michigan University.
Oh, my dad taught, he was a professor at Central Michigan University.
Yay, good. And I also worked Benton
Oh,
Harbor,
yes.
St. Joe,
Yes.
Whirlpool Corporation.
Oh, excellent.
Awesome. And you have an MBA in marketing management from DePaul University in Chicago.
Yes.
Wow. This is packed. Lots of experience, years of experience packed here. So my audience, you're in for a treat. We have incredible, questions lined up, and they're ready to share, tools, experience really with the audience here. So thank you again for being here. Let me go over to Miss Mora and ask, in general, the WBDC, the Women's Business Development Center, what it is, what does it do, and whether here locally and also nationally.
So the Women's Business Development Center, our motto is we ignite small business growth, and we do that through access to capital, access to contracts, and access to connections. Our teams are kind of in the access to connection side of things where we talked about the one-on-one advising and the group advising and webinars. And then we have teams dedicated to access to contracts and access to capital. We mainly operate in Illinois, but under our access to contracts, we do have multi-state region where we help women get WBE certified.
What's WB?
Women Business Enterprise Certification. So what it does, it enables a woman-owned business that has to be 51% owned and operated by a woman and managed by a woman. They can get access to supplier contracts because corporations are really looking at diversifying their supplier base. So they're interested in having women come in and help them with certain projects and be a supplier for their company. So WBE certification can be a real asset to a woman-owned business.
Wow, thank you so much.
Sure.
I'm sure that's good information.
Yes.
So your office helps with that
yes,
as well.
We have a Chicago-based office that helps with the WBE certification. And then we are in 6 other states that we help with WBE certification.
Wow, thank you so much.
Sure.
Awesome.
So that's the contracts. Then we have access to capital. We have a team of former bankers that help out women who need access to capital, whether it be improving their credit rating, looking into loans, and we are a micro lender. So we do offer loans up to $25,000 for startups and up to $50,000 for established businesses.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Awesome.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any requirements or just,
we do. We have collateral requirements, and we have a little bit higher interest rate because we lend before a traditional bank will, because as everyone knows, traditional banks take a while before they'll lend to you. Usually you have to be in business for a couple of years before a bank will lend to you.
Wow.
And so we will help out there, but we do have some strict financial requirements.
But it's good to know, to say you lower the barrier of entry.
Yes.
Right? Even where traditional banks may not be ready to, you will still lower that barrier.
Yes.
That's good.
And we have a Kiva program that we're the manager of, and that's proved really instrumental for those just starting out. So it's a crowd lending platform, and we manage that capability, and it allows people they have to find a base of followers, but once they have a base of followers that are willing to lend them $25, starting as low as $25, then they can be submitted and apply and be placed on a platform where the worldwide can contribute to a loan.
Oh, wow.
Zero interest loan.
Yay.
Yes.
Good. This is good information.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Let me move to Aurora. Here in Aurora, second largest city in Illinois, next to Chicago.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how does your team support women here in Aurora and the surrounding region, right? Because your team also supports entrepreneurs beyond just Aurora.
Yes, in Aurora we support 4 counties: Kane, Kendall, DuPage, and Will. And we not only support women, we also support minorities. We majorly target women, but we accept anyone that needs support. Any entrepreneur that wants to start a business, or if they already have a business, we help them to grow the business.
Wow. That's
So
fantastic.
we are located in 43 West Galena Boulevard, and but we can see people in person. We can see people via virtually with Zoom or by phone, and we are here to help.
Oh, I love that. Here to help. Definitely from your standpoint, what type of helps do you see often? Do you see them coming when they're thinking about a business, just like they have an idea,
Hmm.
or maybe they've launched and they're struggling
Hmm.
and they're seeking help? At what point do
Hmm.
you accept help?
I would say we see people all across the spectrum. We see people who have an inkling of an idea and they're not sure exactly how to turn it into a business idea. And then we have people that have had businesses for years and years and years, and they're maybe hitting some sort of a roadblock, or they're trying to maybe reimagine their business. So we
Okay.
really run the gamut. But I think, especially with startups, I think if they don't have a business background, we can really be helpful in helping them kind of create some framework and a foundation that they can build off to help make sure they have a successful business.
Wow, thank you. One question, just to go a little bit deeper on
Mhm.
that. Do you usually require them to have a business plan, or do you help them with a business plan? I think there are
We,
different schools of
mhm,
thought around
mhm.
business
Yes.
Yeah,
plan.
yeah. We don't require them to have a business plan, but
Okay.
we oftentimes work with them to make sure they've got one in place. Even if it's an existing business, sometimes it's happened organically, and they just had an idea and they started it but didn't have a plan in place. And we always find that they're able to be much more successful if they get that plan in place. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely with startups, that's one of the first things that we work on, is getting that plan and that idea really identified and making
Mm-hmm.
sure that they've got a good niche, and that they're not just going out with a business that's a me too, that they're really thinking through how can they be different and who exactly is their ideal consumer of their product or their service. So that's just a real important first step before you get too far down the road.
Oh, yes, fantastic. I love that in terms of clarity of what this business is, who you're going after before you just go out into the world,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Now, Miss Minerva, like one of the things I've seen, particularly maybe in the minority space, is for people to even have the confidence
Mhm.
to pursue their idea. What would your message be to those who maybe just, can I do it?
Yes,
Can I do it?
it's all about mindset, right? It's about on understanding that they have the ability to do it as long as they find the right niche and they have a solution for a problem that somebody has.
Mm-hmm.
So the key thing is that they understand that what is going to make them different, because finding a unique idea is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we are a lot of people in this world, and there's a lot of opportunities. So as long as they have the mindset of I can do this, they plan and they do their research
Mm-hmm.
and make sure they validate their idea, and make sure they are solving a need for someone and they are creating value, they will be successful.
I love what you just said. You talked about being different. So even when you have people doing the same thing you're doing,
Hmm.
your
Hmm.
difference can be an advantage.
Yes, of course.
Hmm.
I love that because
Yes.
I always say my diversity is an advantage because what we want to solve, how we're going to solve it, who we're going to solve it
Yes.
for is distinct and unique. I love that because I think that's a key message we don't hear enough of, that your own unique way of seeing the world can actually resonate and connect with a unique group of people, unique demographic of people, so that people don't see that as a barrier.
Yes, yes. And in during the pandemic, a lot of people got the courage and the mindset
Mm.
because they didn't have a choice, or they had the time to think and research. And a lot of new entrepreneurs came out with new ideas. I'm always amazed of all the women that call us and with these incredible ideas that I just like, wow, it, I never thought about that. And it is things that are needed, and that it's just a matter of using your expertise it's important that if they are not experts, they become experts on what they are planning to do, because people need to trust on them.
I love that.
So they can do it if they do the research.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you so much. This is I'm enjoying this.
Right up your alley.
Yes, right up my alley. This is fantastic. So when it comes to women in general, what's unique about women, a women's business or female entrepreneurship? Like from your perspective over the years, what have you seen to be, a unique stamp on how we build, who we build for, and how we approach business?
Yes, I found that a lot of women want to serve others. Yes, most of my businesses, I've looked I divide people into different industries, and I would say 75% of the people that I've seen are in education, consulting, coaching, or wellness.
Wow.
So women want to start a service-based business, it seems. I mean, there are a number of product-based businesses we also see, but women want to serve others.
Yeah. And I consider entrepreneurship in general, business in general, to be about excellence in service. So while, other businesses may be producing physical products, manufacturing, at the end of the day, what is being created is value that makes the world
Right.
advance, right?
Right.
Whether it's a physical product, whether it's service, non-tangible. For me personally, I just believe that we're all in the business of serving humanity, and then we get to be rewarded. The financial reward is the commercial side of it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the heart of service is what is required actually to do entrepreneurship well.
Right.
I love that. In my book, I talked about know your why. Many times, I'm sure
Yeah.
you've seen this. People say,
Yeah.
I want to make money, right?
Yeah.
Why are you an entrepreneur? I want to make money.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But what do you have to say to that?
Yeah, well, I say, what's your unique value proposition? Like we did talk about, what
Yeah.
are you good at that will bring you value both financially and internally?
Mhm.
What will make your life better also?
Yes, I
Yeah.
love that because we do business the way we do life. And really, if you're going to dedicate your time, energy to build anything, hopefully, like Miss Mora is saying, you're doing something you love
Yes.
or you can tolerate for a long time.
Right. Because it
Yeah.
is a 24/7 job. I mean, people think that entrepreneurship is the solution to getting out from under a corporation, but usually you are working harder in your entrepreneurial pursuit than you do at a corporation, because you've got suppliers, you've got employees, you've got demands on your time all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love this because you're in it. Everything depends on you. You become
Yes.
everything, right?
Yes.
Until you grow and you expand and you can bring on more people. Would you like to comment on that concept of I want to make money,
Yes.
right?
No, I agree. They have to really love what they are doing. A lot of the entrepreneurs say, "Oh, I want to have a more flexible life, and I want to manage my hours." Yes, you are going to manage your hours, but they're going to be 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So one thing we always tell entrepreneurs is you need a team. You need a team of people that supports you. Even if you are a solopreneur, you have to hire contractors that are going to help you with the things that you are not expert on.
Yes.
So like if you're not expert on marketing, hire somebody that is going to help you with your social media, your email marketing. Absolutely hire an accountant. That's no doubt about it. And have a lawyer handy, because if you don't do those things, then it's going to be more expensive and it's going to be a headache, and you need support. You need mentors like us, or mentors that are in your same industry. And those are people that are going to cheer you up when you're down in the difficult moments, and help you and cheer you up when you are successful as well. So I mean, they need a team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, what you're saying reminds me, like, I hope, in my experience, I say that businesses that thrive, I've seen that they're usually built within a community,
Yes.
right? In terms of, we talked about mentorship and support. Well, even the people that would buy from you have to know you, right? We
Mhm.
buy from people we know, like, and trust.
Mhm.
And what I've seen as a struggle for new entrepreneurs is that they're building in isolation,
Mm.
right? They're disconnected from the community that can support them, that can buy from them, that can inspire them to keep growing. And so I don't know if you've seen that this isolation mindset of, I know what it is I want to do, I can do it by myself, and then people struggle. And even when they're struggling, they're still hesitating and asking for help. Have you seen that from your standpoint?
Well, I just think that sometimes people think that because it's their business and they had the idea and they got it up and running, that they have to have all the answers, and they put a lot of pressure on themselves to not to not reach out to the kind of the broader community to help them. And I think that's what we find a lot with people who come to us for advising assistance, is they're kind of at a dead end and they don't know what to do, and they don't really don't I don't think they appreciate the ecosystem that's around them until it's kind of brought to their attention and they realize that they don't have to have all the answers themselves.
That is huge. I see that a lot. And it's almost like a phenomenon that keeps repeating itself. And for me, I even traced it to the traditional education system
Mm.
and from the employees, those who are coming from being employees and transitioning into entrepreneurs mindset,
Mm-hmm.
is that the employee mindset makes us depend on ourselves, right? The traditional
Mm-hmm.
education system says it's just about me, right? And so I think that transition has to do with seeing the world as there's a lot of people out there that literally want to help you succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Your success is their success. The city wants you to succeed so you can
Yes.
pay taxes.
Yeah.
They want you to hire
Yes.
people. They
Mhm.
want you to grow. I think that's a surprising information for new entrepreneurs, particularly coming out of the corporate, because I came out of the corporate space.
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky enough to have built mine in an ecosystem that supports the world's biggest company. So
Mhm.
that mindset is already embedded to say there's only so much you can achieve by yourself.
Right. Yeah.
But in community with the right people, there's really no limit to your success, because your success is my success is your success, and together we can achieve so much more.
Mhm.
So I think that that's something that I would love us to keep putting out there, just to encourage people, because there's incredible support in the city, in
Yeah.
Chicago, in Aurora.
Mhm.
As we bring in guests, some of my listeners are going, I didn't know about SBDC. I didn't know there's SBA support. I'm calling my SBC. They've been calling, and so please call them.
Please call, yes.
Call them. They're here to help you. So let me ask this question. From a challenge standpoint, I think we've mentioned it a little bit. What are the biggest challenges that you've seen entrepreneurs face? I'll start with you and then go to Miss Mora, and then we'll be back
Okay.
to Miss Christine.
Access to capital. I think the entrepreneurs think that starting a business, it can be done with no money sometimes, and they call and the first thing they ask us is, "Yeah, I need money for my business." So they have this wonderful idea, but they don't have money. And unfortunately for startups, the sources of money are limited. They could be, they start with their own savings, with asking family or friends. They can find angel investors. We do have a very wonderful source that is Kiva crowdfunding loan. And then there are grants that they could be for minorities that or for certain goals or specific objectives that either private corporations or sometimes the government brings out for people. But unfortunately, there's not enough money out there for startups. So they have to realize that it's not only good enough to have a great idea. They have to understand what are the startup costs to start that idea. And then with that in mind, then find the money from different sources. Financial institutions do not lend to startups. They need a startup for a bank. It's 1 or 2 years in business.
Okay, so they have a requirement for at least a year or two.
Yes. So there are ways, there are other community institutions that lend to startups like Allies for Community Business and other organizations. So we can help them understand where the money can come from,
Mm-hmm.
but they do need to understand their startup costs
Yes,
financially.
financially. So the financial planning, long term, short term, long term.
Yeah, and I don't want to be negative. There's options. There are
Okay.
options out there, but
Yes.
it's about planning.
Yes, but it's very very important to
Yes.
not underestimate, you know, your financial requirement to grow your business.
Yes, and understand what does that mean.
What does it mean? Awesome, thank you. And for you, Ms. Mora, as well.
I would say it goes back to being the individual versus the community. An entrepreneur really needs to solve a problem, like Minerva said, but they have to get out and talk to people about their problem. It can't just be talking to their family and friends. Oh, my mom loves my banana bread. I'm going to start a company selling my banana bread. You have to get out there and test your idea. So let's say you want to offer human resource consulting. You have to get out and talk to a number of small businesses to see if they need your services before you decide that that's where you're going to put all your money and your ideas. So it is getting out and testing your idea, making sure that you have product market fit and validate your idea out there.
I love that aspect because many times you find people building in isolation again,
Yes.
making a lot of assumptions
Mm-hmm.
about who's going to buy. In fact, we're typically so excited.
Yes, that's the thing.
And then we run into the marketplace
Yeah.
and then crickets.
Yeah.
and it can be so, I think that's probably the first disappointment
Yeah.
that entrepreneurs face
Right.
is that what they believe to be true is not proven true.
Yes. And usually it just takes a little iteration on the idea. You know, you get out there and, okay, I'm going to do human resource consulting. And maybe the service that I'm going to offer, no one really needs.
Yeah.
But just tweaking that idea a little bit, then sometimes you get a market reaction that's, that works.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So which one is better? I find that sometimes people build and they're looking for who needs it,
Yeah.
or people in community find a need and then they build for the need.
Yes.
Yes, that's much
That's
better.
it.
I like that.
That's the way.
Yeah,
Find the need. Yes.
I find the need, but I think we get to that second part with experience. I think that's where experience kicks in. The experienced entrepreneur learns from not making assumptions that people need my solution. And over time, you're going, oh, where's the need? Right? I can meet the need. If there's a need and people are invested in financially addressing the need, then that's a business opportunity.
Yes.
But if there's no need, but I'm just in my own mind, in my own world, it's not to say that you cannot innovate, but I think it's more expensive. I think it's more expensive to bring into the marketplace a solution that people don't know that they need. You have to invest heavily in marketing to educate people about why they need this.
Yeah.
And then you have to invest in marketing to also tell them why the value is the value. And you almost have to convince them that this is not a free solution, that you have to pay for it.
Right.
And I think it's a uphill battle. And I want to encourage, like, those who are savvy, experienced entrepreneurs do better at releasing new solutions into the marketplace because they understand the process. They have funding, they have the money, they have the relationships, right? So it's a new runway. That's why you see the ecosystem of those who started Twitter and Facebook. These guys have a lot of experience, so they are able to innovate and then lead the world into the future. But if you're new, without experience, without skill, and this is your first attempt, I think finding a need is the fastest way to success. Finding a need and meeting the need and being the solution is the fastest way to achieve success. Any other challenges you've seen in Aurora here?
Well, I was just going to piggyback off of what Maura was talking about in terms of validating your idea, and I think the other thing is to try as much as you can to make information-based decisions. So, you know, I think even though you do your upfront research and you think you understand who your ideal customer is, and you've done a lot of things to mitigate your risk, when you actually go out there, things may not be as you thought they would be. And so I think utilizing tools that are available like Google Analytics to understand where are your customers coming from, what are they looking at on your website, all of those kinds of things will help you to find a little toehold that you can then build on and expand on. And I think people don't spend enough time really understanding the analytics behind their business.
I love that. In fact, you made me start thinking, because fact-based, information-based, data-driven decision, right? Data is data. Data doesn't lie. But in business, I do find there's a lot of emotional decision making. But I also see that being different from gut feel, right? Because the gut feel will lead you in a way to success, but there are times when emotion clouding decisions could be stress induced. Or have you seen that as well, in terms of, I really want this money, or I really need this money now, and then people make decisions that may be rash and may not support their business. Have you seen that?
Yeah, definitely. They go out in the market with I'm sorry. They go out in the market without analyzing the opportunity, because it could be that you are making a difference, but the market is very small.
Okay.
And so the market has to be big enough for you to be profitable and earn the money that you are expecting to earn. So that is part of that analysis. And I don't oppose for people, for example, they are opening an online business, and I encourage them to go out and do it and don't be scared of doing it, as long as they really understand that they have a differentiating point. Because they can fail in an online business, and then they can do another one, but I mean, that's a learning. They have to make sure that they manage their budget and manage the cost of doing business. And that's where on everything you do, you have to analyze it and see how successful are the activities you are doing to promote your business, to promote your product, and what's the answer from the consumer. A lot of times I ask them to do surveys of their current clients, for example. Are your clients satisfied with your service or not? Do you understand what other needs they have? And that way, with that data, they can constantly improve and bring the next generation of product or service. So yeah, data is very, very important.
Yes, and you talked about the market, the size of the market, and the money you can make. Can you dive a little bit into that? Because that's a lot of market analysis that I don't think people understand, in terms of how much money can you make when you're serving a unique group of people. Can you share just a little bit there?
Well, every industry is different, but they can even start by understanding what are the profitability, the average profitability of certain industries, to have an idea how profitable this industry is, right? But more important, they need to understand their financial statements. They need to have cash flows, balance sheets, profit and loss statements that they understand. They can have an accountant or a bookkeeper that can help them do those statements, but the numbers are their own numbers. Entrepreneurs need to understand what those numbers are telling them. Is it the revenue that I'm getting big enough for me to be being profitable? And the perfect example is the childcare industry. The childcare owners, they need to understand their break-even points. How many kids do I need to have in my home to be profitable? And for that, they need to understand the cost of serving one child, and then It's not an easy task. It's not an easy task, but it's something that is very important that we work very hard with all our entrepreneurs to understand their break-even points, to understand the trends in the revenue, to understand if they are profitable.
Yes, wow. Thank you so much. That's really good information. So let me move to Miss Mora from Chicago. Within your facility, you also have a SBDC, an ITC, and then the WBDC all combined.
Yes.
Right.
The WBDC is the top organization, and under those are the SBDC is funded by the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, and then we have two women business centers. They're funded by the Office of Women and Budget Opportunity or something. OBO, yes.
From the SBA, the Small
from
Business
the
Administration.
Yes.
Yes, and then we have our Women Business Certification Team. They're funded actually by the fees that are charged to get WBE certified. We also have an Apex Accelerator that's now funded by the Department of Transportation. So we have all these different funding groups that help us do our work. We have a team that does established business services, and they're funded by corporations. They have a lot of corporate funders. And so we have a wide variety of funding that helps us do our work. There
That's
are
good.
40 of us that work for the Women's Business Development Center in all different
In
capacities.
downtown Chicago, right?
Yes. And well, then we have the Aurora office and
Yes.
then the
Yes.
other offices.
Yes.
Yeah.
What can cities do more of? What are they doing well? What can they do better at in terms of just keeping the entrepreneurship ecosystem alive and well and fully inspired to keep investing time, energy, and resources to grow businesses that help grow the city? Any thoughts around that?
I think it is awareness. So
Awareness.
in Chicago, we have Chai Biz Hub, which is a centralized hub of information where you can find out events that are happening. You can find out what resources are available, what advising, what lending opportunities there are. So people just need to be aware of Chai Biz Hub, which people
And no,
are
wasn't
not.
that Kenya Merritt's? She used to.
She was in BACP. She helped out on that team.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
awareness is number one.
Yes. And I think especially in our underprivileged communities, they need to be aware of community and of resources within their neighborhood. We find that a lot of people do not have, we talk about getting out and talking to people about your idea and testing your assumptions. Well, if you don't have anyone in your neighborhood that you know has the need that you want to serve, it's very difficult. So they need to be introduced to new resources, to new communities, to people that they can talk to. So by offering our, now especially virtual really helps because people are meeting one another from across the state rather than within one community. I think it really helps if there's a network of people that they can use as their resources.
I love that because to your point, I see people going online for help, but they're missing out on actually what's happening in their city. That's what I've seen is that. So how do we connect? In my mind is how do we connect the city ecosystem, for example, here in Aurora, like for someone coming in new with new ideas, how do they immediately plug into the business community? I know there's a chamber and all of that, but I agree with you. I think that awareness of what's going on in the city and providing visibility to those who live in the city, right, and those who seek to grow businesses in the city, and creating those platforms for exchanges, not just festivals and fun stuff, but I think the business side of things, I think that would be great. Any other ideas?
We work a lot with our partners, so we collaborate with many organizations in the area, like Invest Aurora, like the SBDC, like the downtown Aurora and other downtowns, downtown LG, downtown Batavia, with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and the Chamber of Commerce. And we promote our services and events with all of them, so they can pass the voice and pass the information. And with the city as well. The city could be a great help of understanding our services and sending people when if somebody goes and asks for a license and they are not ready with what the requirements, they can refer it to us. So,
Yes.
and people like you and people like Good Morning Aurora and other media that can help us
Yes.
pass the voice. And so that's what we do. We do our own marketing ourselves, but
Yes.
we find that it's not the only way. We use social media, so networking with other organizations. We are
Yes.
all these organizations provide free services. Most of them are there for the entrepreneurs, and the best way is to collaborate and have a bigger impact in our
Yes.
communities that way.
Definitely. And I'm sure like those who are listening in, for sure, they are going to take those steps because people who need help, there is help.
Yes.
Right? We just want to make sure that they know who to call, where to go for that. And I know in the course of this engagement, you're going to give them your numbers or
Yeah.
websites and all of that. So that's really fantastic. So as I'm starting to wrap up now, any, you know, big ideas that you want people to pursue, whether it's social media, the use of social media for marketing or sales strategies or any type of strategy that you would like to say, you know what, try this, test this out. It's going to help you with growing your business. Let me start with Miss Kristen and then I'll go around again. Yes.
I think digital tools are really
Digital
important.
tools.
We just finished up a digital boot camp that was specifically for the Aurora community, and figuring out which digital tools are the ones that could really help you and make your take a load off of your plate and help you to run your business more efficiently, I think is a real important thing for people to gain awareness.
So be open to digital. Are you putting in AI, ChatGPT in that bucket? Just the willingness to explore because I sense many people hesitate. I have a technology background, so I love technology, but I also understand that many people struggle with digital, but digital is here to stay. So I love that.
Yeah, and there's resources that you can use to schedule your social media posts and get much more efficient with it, so that it's not such a burden on you, but you're still able to get yourself out there and drive awareness in a lot of different social media platforms. So just kind of being brave and looking for tools that can help you be more efficient, I think is really important.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that because when digital is done right, it's supposed to increase productivity, right? So don't say no until you've tried it out, and definitely if it's implemented well, it's supposed to help, right? Thank you, Ms. Moore.
I really believe that self-awareness matters. Are you going to be a good entrepreneur? Do you have the strengths needed to pursue your own dream? What strengths do you have? What weaknesses do you have? Because like we said, you have to have a team that backs you up. So if you're strong I know I'm strong in finance, but weak in marketing. So on my team, I have a marketing assistant. You need to know what you're good at. You need to, be confident and flexible and resilient.
Wow, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I love that because the business will grow when we grow.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Any, thoughts or tips, for the community? And after you share it in English, I would also love for you, if you don't mind, to speak to our Hispanic speaking audience as well.
Yeah. So again, I would end with what I started. It's mindset. It's mindset to do things the right way. It's mindset to don't be afraid to have mistakes and find solutions for those mistakes and learn through the journey. So they can do it. We can help them, and it's an enjoyable journey if you do it with a good mindset.
Yes. Español.
En español. Bueno, estamos aquí para ayudar a los negocios en español. Yo soy apasionada de ayudar a mi comunidad hispana y por favor no tengan miedo de contactarnos. Hay ayuda, mucha ayuda de organizaciones como nosotros.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, and one of my special questions, this is just a leadership success tip. you're achieving success in your space. I know success is this journey that we all go through to find our unique fit in the world and to be able to serve. So any top one, two tips that is personal to you that you believe has helped you, continue to achieve success in your space, in life, whether it's work-life balance, just your thoughts on that, and just to leave that with our audience. I'll start with Miss Christine, please.
Yeah, I would say for me that the two things that have been a through line through my career is focus on planning and communication. So I think with planning, making sure I know where I want to go and that I've thought through the steps that I need to do to get there. And then I've always focused on just trying to over communicate, I think, and because I've just found that if people know what you're trying to do and they understand the vision, you can bring people along with you and you can build that community of support if you're able to communicate well.
I love that. That's very good.
Thank
you. Yeah.
For me, relationships,
Yes.
building relationships. I love building relationship personally. I am a person, a people, how do you say that?
People person, yeah.
People person. So building relationship and maintaining your network. The other thing is learning. I love learning. Every day I learn something and continue through your life learning.
Oh, that's so good. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Miss Moore. Not
So I recently took an assessment called Sparketype Analysis. It's a free test. I recommend everyone do it because along the lines of being self-aware, it reaffirmed that I live to learn and I love to make order out of chaos. So, and this has guided my career. I am really a Jill of all trades. I know, I tell everyone that I know a little bit about a lot, but it has really guided me along the way. And I'm happy when I'm learning and when I am systemizing things.
Oh, wow.
And I need your help.
Wow, this has been such a delightful, experience sharing this table with you. I want to thank you again for joining us and sharing your thoughts with the audience. And I want you to share, how can we connect with you? Websites, whatever you feel comfortable. How can our
Yes.
audience reach out to you, please?
Sure, you can reach out to me. My email address is mmitchell@wbdc.org. But maybe you want to go to our website because we do have the whole team listed there and everyone's email address. And our website is www.wbdc.org. And I just want to make a plug for an event on Thursday called Using Your Voice as a Tool of Persuasion. We're going to have 2 opera singers come and speak to us about how to use our voice as a tool.
Awesome.
Yes.
And downtown Chicago, is that happening in downtown
It's a
Chicago?
webinar from 12 to 1 on Thursday.
Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Sure.
Awesome. Contact information.
Okay, they can call me at 630-246-7831. Send me an email at mcallayud@wbdc.org. Or also go to the website wbdc.org. And we are located 43 West Galena Boulevard in Aurora, downtown.
Yes, and the WBDC website serves all WBDCs, so people have to search. How do they get to their city? They search for Chicago or Aurora.
How do they set up an appointment, you mean? Or
Yeah, so the system has. Okay, I'm sure the website has all the
yes,
directions.
yes.
Yeah.
They can just set up an appointment in the website or
Yes.
just call us and we will
Oh.
send them the information.
It's as
Yes.
easy as that, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go to the website,
Yes.
set up an appointment, give them a call. They're ready to help you. Thank you so much. Do you want to share your
Sure.
email too, please?
My email address is kgehrig, so it's KGEHRIG @wbdc.org.
Yay. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you so much for joining us for the edition of Quantum Leap. I'm sure this has been really helpful to you. I want to encourage you to do seek help when you need help because help is available. Thank you so much. See you next week.